Hi, I'm Stacey, and today I'm going to introduce you to the amazing versatility of Spellbinders die templates. Spellbinders dies are the only dies available that offer a triple function. They cut die-cut shapes, they emboss detail into the shapes, and you can use the dies as a stencil to create beautiful effects. Not only are Spellbinders dies beautiful, they're universal with most of the leading die-cut machines available today. I'm going to demonstrate to you how to use these dies in multiple machines, including the Quick Cuts Revolution, the Big Kick by Sizzix, the Cuttlebug by Provocraft, the Big Shot by Ellison Sizzix, the original Sizzix Press, the Spellbinders Wizard, and the amazing new Spellbinders Excalibur motorized embossing and cutting system. So sit back and relax and enjoy how you can use any die cut machine with your Spellbinders die templates. This is the Wizard Universal Craft Tool. The Wizard comes with these two thick white mats, a tan embossing mat, and a spacer plate. This spacer plate is not used to cut into. This is the plate that you place your dies on in order to cut your dies. But you don't want to cut into this plate. If you cut into this plate, it will bow, and then your dies will not lay flat. So you always want to make sure when you're using a Spellbinders die that you have the edges of the die, which is the cut surface, facing up towards you. To use these dies in the Wizard, we're going to place this die cut side up on the cut mat in the middle. You want to make sure that your plate is centered in the thick white mat, and you're going to get your cardstock and you're going to place it on top of your die. At this point, you don't need your tan mat because we're not embossing. We're going to simply place the second thick white mat on top, and then we're going to insert this into the Wizard machine. When you use your Wizard, you want to make sure that your handle is placed towards you and that the Spellbinders logo is upside down from where you're sitting, facing away from you. When you go to insert the mats into the Wizard, you need to reach around to the back of the machine, hugging the Wizard. So you place your mats on the back side. The learning curve of this machine is one simple move. You're going to take your hand and you're going to roll the rollers away from you. This move actually engages the mats into the rollers, making it easy to feed through. Your second step is going to be to place the handle of the Wizard all the way forward to the table. You may hear cracking and creaking while you're doing this motion. That's perfectly normal in the Wizard. There's 3,000 pounds of pressure involved in cutting your dies, and it's perfectly normal. Your mats are not breaking. Once you get your mats locked into the Wizard, all you need to do is simply raise your handle up to the ceiling, and you're going to hear a clicking. Then, to get the mats to feed through the machine, simply push it back and forth, and the mats will roll through. You want to make sure that you place your hand in the back, catching the mats as they exit the machine. Remember that 3,000 pounds of pressure? Hold onto your mats tight so your mats won't pop. Then you're going to simply open up your sandwich, and your die cut, if it's new, may stick to your mats. That's perfectly normal. These are cutting mats. They're designed for the dies to stick into. You're going to pull up on your die cut, and you're actually going to turn it back over and lay it down on the plate. Right now what we have is just a plain die cut. There's no detail at all on the die cut. This gives you the ability to stamp into the die or to actually change what your die looks like. In other words, you're not married to this design. So I'm going to leave this die cut in the die, and I'm going to remove the white spacer plate. This is my embossing step. Simply place your finger on the die and slip out the white mat. I'm going to take my tan mat and I'm going to place it on top, and that's my embossing step. Replace the white mat on top. Remember, start with the handle towards you, reach around, hugging the Wizard, and that little learning curve of rolling the rollers away from you locks those mats into place. Pushing the handle forward and just walk it through. Now, if you're a lady with strength issues, carpal tunnel, maybe you had surgery, you want to turn this machine towards you and have it in this perspective. You can then also use it this way. So you can put the Wizard machine anywhere that's comfortable for you. Catching it when it comes out. Now I'm going to have an absolutely beautiful embossed die cut. Now, the third feature of our dies is that you can use them as a stencil. And this is where you actually bring your die cuts to life. I just turn my die over and there's my stencil. So now I'm going to take some inks, and I usually use a little ink applicator, and I'm actually going to daub some ink onto it. This way I have control over the flow of the ink, and I won't get too much ink where I don't want it. And I'm just going to simply color my die cut like a stencil. Then you can take a pokey tool, toothpick, push pin, finger, whatever you like, and remove your die cut, and you've got this fabulous effect. Now, if you want to get this die cut to really pop and look amazing, just take a little bit of chalk, and I just use my fingers to show you how easy it really is, and just rub over your die cut. You'd be amazed at how these colors blend together, and they're so beautiful. And then to add just a finishing touch to my butterfly, I would just simply go around and edge my die. So as you can see, it's as easy as a breeze. You've got a beautiful die cut in just seconds. Two very popular dies are the Spellbinders Edge Abilities and Nest Abilities. These dies are amazing in their function. With the Spellbinders Edge Abilities, you can create invitations, you can create place table cards, scrapbook borders, just so many embellishments. It's just beautiful. To use this die, you actually want to take a piece of cardstock and fold it in half like a card. I'm going to actually take this die and place it inside of my card and close it up. I'm going to take my white spacer plate, place it on my white cut mat. And I'm going to run this through. And the first cut that's going to happen is just the window of the card is going to become cut. Handle toward me, reaching around, rolling the rollers, and then walking it through the Wizard. Now the first pass, like I said, is just going to cut my shape. The second pass is where I get the detail. So I have my window of my card cut. Remove my spacer plate, place my tan embossing mat on the top, and repeat the same steps. Handle toward me. The learning curve is to feed the rollers with my hand, walking it through. If for some reason this rocks back and forth on you, you need to place your thumb on the rollers to hold it stable, and that will engage the ratchet mechanism, just like that. Walk it through. And now I'm going to have a beautiful, beautiful card in seconds flat. And don't forget, once you take this off of your die, you've got these beautiful pieces left over inside to use as dimensional embellishments. So here is my edge ability, as beautiful as can be. The other die that's very, very, very popular right now is the Nest Abilities. These dies are the first dies to increment at 1/4 and 1/8 inches, giving card makers and scrapbookers unlimited opportunities to create embellishments, mats, frames, windows and cards, and even the card in the shape of the die. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. We're going to take our Edge Ability die, and we're going to actually put our white spacer plate down on the mat. And in this instance, I actually took my cardstock and folded it in half. And now I want to leave this folded edge off the end of my die because I'm making this into a card. Placing it on my cut mat, and then I'm going to run it through the Wizard. Remember, roll those rollers, push the handle all the way down, and walk it through. Catch it on the way out, and now I have a beautiful card in the shape of a square with scallops. I'm going to remove my spacer plate because now I'm going to emboss. So I'm sure you can see how fast and easy card making, invitations, all these neat things can be done. Okay, So now what I'm going to do is show you my beautiful card. And I could actually take some ink and I could edge it. I can just add some paper to it, some embellishments. And I've got a great card in seconds flat. So that's our edgeabilities and nestabilities. So enjoy them.